What's good YouTube? Welcome back to Blaze in the Terminal. This is the last video of the series. In our previous video, we finished the hosting of our application. In this video, we are going to add a progressive web app to see how easy it is to reuse existing Blazor components and how it affects the overall deployment of things. So let's jump in. So I am in my Blazor demo, and what we are going to do first is we add the PWA project. We do this by .NET new Blazor, there we go, Blazor WASM, with the name Blazor demo frontend PWA, and the --PWA flag makes it a PWA out of the box. So very convenient. Next step is we need to make the PWA application use the previous UI and infrastructure projects, and we do this by .NET reference add. First the infrastructure, and then we use the, the UI. And then of course, since we added a new project, we need to add this project to the solution as well with .NET solution add, and then anything that looks like a solution will be added. And now when I go into my solution file, then at some point we see the PWA. So all good right here. Next thing we need is a little bit of infrastructure. So I go into the program CS of my PWA, and you see that out of the box we have some HTTP client added here. We don't need this one. I just paste the code from my documentation, which is here, which you also find in the description, of course. And then you find that number one, we need to add the HTTP weather client from previous videos. We do this just with the LSP. And it also, since we added the references properly, it finds the HTTP clients. And then you see iService collection does not contain definition for add HTTP client. So in order for this to work, we simply need to add the Microsoft extension package. And also we find this in the documentation, and we do this by .NET add package, package add, etc. And I really just go save my file first, close everything, make this clean, paste the command, .NET package add, etc. Microsoft extensions HTTP. Then I do .NET restore, just in case. And when I open my program CS again of the PWA, then you see that add HTTP client works now. Now mind you, we're looking for app settings here, builder configuration, API URL. And in WASM, the app settings files are in the www root folder. So I go here and I just create a file called app settings production.json for the production environment. And I create another one for the local environment. And then I just go into my little doc and just copy this one. This is the official URL from our API that we deployed in the previous, or one of the previous videos. And then of course, I take almost the same code for the local development, and I have it in the docs as well, API URL. I mean, I just copy the whole thing. Boom, and it says your port. And just a quick check what your port is right here. I just close everything, and then I open the API project in the new tmux window and let it run .NET watch run. And then we see quickly that the port is 5096, okay? Copy this, go back, start nvim, and then somewhere in the old files that we go. And I just replace your port with 5096. Last step in the setup is we want to actually reuse the UI components that we use in the other Blazor interactive server, right? So remember, we have the .ui project here, Blazor demo front end shared UI. I go here, and somewhere in this we have a custom layout razor, and we use the custom layout in other components already. So for example, when I close this and I look for the custom layout, then you see that in the interactive server routes component, I refer to the custom layout. And now we do the same for our PWA, like exactly the same. I go into my app razor from the PWA, and instead of main layout, I just give it the custom layout, and I have to use the proper namespace, of course. I go using Blazor demo front end shared UI, and it should be good. And it is good. It now recognizes the custom UI component. We are ready now to do a first test of our application. I close nvim, open another tmux window for our PWA, and then first I run the API again. So we have a web service that the PWA can pull data from. And then I go into my PWA project, do the same thing, .NET run, and everything looks fine so far here. I copy this URL, go into my browser, and then it tells me already that something is broken. And when I look into what is broken, then I see somewhere, what does it say? Yeah, no access control allow origin header is present on a requested resource. So we need to allow cores here in order for this to work. And in fact, you see a section in the documentation, make the API allow cross-origin resource sharing. And we do this in the API program CS, and we really just am super lazy. I copied this one, go back into my Blazor code, program CS from the API, and then somewhere there's the services. Remove this one, and then we go. That should be fine. That should be fine. What we're doing here is we're adding the services for cores to the DI container, along with a policy that says allow everything. Super lazy right here. And then, of course, since we have the policy in place now, when we go down, we say use cores. There we go. And we use the allow all policy from above. Okay. Now, save everything, go back into our API. Again, .NET Watch run. Boom, boom, boom. Go back to the browser. And now back in the Blazor application, we see that we actually get data. Next section in the demo is hosting. And first we're going to put everything into Azure. So I wrote a little hint here. I say in this demo, we serve the PWA via Caddy, since the PWA is just static files that don't need to rely on Kestrel, meaning we do not have a runtime here. And I just follow along. I go create a Caddy file in our PWA project, go back to nvim, back to the code, go back to, where is it, the PWA, and now here I just create a Caddy file, open it, just paste that content here, and it says just for the container, on port 80, just serve the index HTML, which is coming from our PWA once it is built and published. Go back to the tutorial, create a Docker file in the same directory, right below the Caddy file, open it, copy the content. And what's happening here is that at first we get a Microsoft .NET SDK container to restore and build our PWA application. And then we have the Caddy container and copy the Caddy file and the static files of our PWA application into it. So this is what's going to run later in production. Now that this is in place, I can go fully into the terminal and do a Docker build and tag it with this right here. And I'm going to use the Docker file I just created for this build. And as you see, this takes quite a long time. This is because we do the build and restore and release in the Docker container. It would be much easier if we go Docker file, and just leave all of this away. That would be much faster. But also having it here in the Docker file ensures that we never forget to restore and publish the latest version of our development from the code. Anyways, now that we build our container, we can push it. We can do a Docker push, Docker push Blazor demo front and WASM, the tag that we just created, into the repo. And now if I go check the repo, then you see that we have under repositories, we have the WASM repo here. So now we are ready to pull that repo from the remote machine. First, we have to do a little bit of preparation. We have to go into our Docker compose file. And when we look in the services inside here, we have Caddy, we have the interactive server, and we have the API so far. And now we need to add another service that represents our WASM. and goes by name Blazor demo front end WASM. And now, of course, we need a separate URL to point to this container as alternative to the interactive server, okay? And we do this by adjusting the Caddy file. Where's the Caddy file? SolutionItems Caddy file. And that's also pretty straightforward. Boom, and we have, what did I use here? I'm lazy, I just copy this. Just copy this. And there we go, this URL, Blazor demo front end WASM. And it's gonna point to the WASM service from the Docker Compose file that we just adjusted. So now that everything is in place, I can SSH into my Blazor demo remote machine and SSD into compose solution items. When I do a docker ps here, then you see that all we have running right now is, what is it? It's the Caddy container, it is the Blazor demo front-end interactive server, and the API. And what we're gonna add here now is the WASM as container number 4. But first we do docker compose down. And we are going to need to update the Caddy file and the Docker Compose file here on the server, of course, the ones we just adjusted on our local dev machine. And we do this by just using rsync SolutionItems to our Blazor demo machine and so on and so forth. And now we have a fresh version of the Docker Compose YAML and the Caddy file on our remote machine here on this machine. And if I now do a cut of the Docker, where's the Docker Compose YAML, I should find my WASM. There we go. Here's the WASM service that we just added. So we have actually fresh files now on the remote machine. One of the last things that needs to happen now is I have to update the Caddy file as well. And I do this by removing volume bindings, Caddy. I do believe it's Caddy. There we go, Caddy file. Boom, there's gone. And then I move my Caddy file into volume bindings, Caddy. That should be good. And now if I start everything should just work. So again, just to check, I do a docker ps to see what is running. Nothing is running, that is good. And now I do docker compose pull. And you see that's actually pulling the WASM container from our Azure repo, as it should be. And now I can do a docker compose up. I should be able, if I go into the docs, I should now be able to navigate this URL and actually land on the WASM that we just published to Azure and pulled into a remote machine. And yeah, let's try this one. Open a new tab, paste this. And I do believe this is complaining now because we did not update the API in the Azure repo. Remember, we added cores in our API as program CS, but this was only local. So I do have to go to the API project and then do a .NET publish. That looks good. Which then pushes the latest version of our API into the repo. And of course on a remote machine, again do docker compose down, docker compose pull, and then it should, yeah, it's downloading the freshest API. And do a docker compose up. Navigate the WASM again. And then we see it's still not working. And when I look at the Caddy file, excuse me, the Docker Compose file, then I see something. I see that in our interactive server, we have something that is called environment, where we say that we use the production environment, and even we set the API URL explicitly. And we do not have this in our WASM service. So I'm just going to add these vars here. And of course, this is not actually the real URL. This is the container name, and this works because the interactive server, this one, and the API are hosted on the same machine. They're running on the same machine, so you can just use the container names for everything to work. But our WASM is a client-side application. It needs a fully qualified URL to work here. So we just use it from production, which is blazordemo-api.rambo.io. And then we comment this one out, go back to the remote machine, stop everything again, docker compose down, update docker compose file via rsync, boom, boom, boom. Now, back to the remote machine, try again Docker Compose up, this time with the updated app settings, environment settings. And when we now go into our browser and open a new tab and navigate the front-end WASM URL, then it should now work. And there we go. We actually get through as it should be. So now this is the end of the demo. This is everything I wanted to show so far. We created a Blazor app. We covered containerization, hosting. We added a PWA. And you can tell this is a PWA because you have this little install emoji right here where it tells you to install stuff. So this works successfully. We get the data from our client PWA application. So the code that pulls from the API is actually running locally in your browser. And that's it. This is all I wanted to show so far. We have a Blazor application. We have an API that we pull data from in different hosting scenarios. Everything is secured by SSL, and we took care of the whole development and deployment lifecycle completely from the terminal. So I don't know what else to talk about. Maybe you have some ideas that you find interesting to explore. But when it comes to me, that was it. This was Blazor in the terminal. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.